Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny P. Mitchell. Hi. We are still experiencing studio technical difficulties. Kenny got to witness the, literally when the clock turned 6 o'clock, and I was like, I'm like, can you hear that? And he's like, no. And, oh, that's because there's no cord plugged into your monitor, and then I had to set the guitar down and get up and leave the room. And I said every single time I have to do this, but that's the way it goes. It is quite a work in progress to make all this happen.
This is a massive undertaking, in my opinion.
Mine too. Sometimes I wonder why I do it.
Right? Man,
But it is.
Man.
It's the for those of you who've never been here, this is the stream to no one. So thank you for being someone. I started doing this about a year and a half ago when I had no place to play, no one that would listen to anything I did. And I figured out how to create a stream when I turned on the camera, and I just started playing to the camera and talking to it as a form of therapy.
Perfect.
And that was basically how it started. And a few people started watching, friends and family, and started talking about songwriting, played songs I like, songs I wrote. It evolved a little bit. I started finding a little joy in it, and started it became like, well, that looks bad. I don't like the way that looks. How do I make the lights look better? How do I add a graphic? How do I do? And so I'm learning it all the time, and
It's evolving.
It's evolving, but I keep having setbacks because me and technology really have been at war since the beginning of technology.
I'm right there with you. I can't say. I can help my parents find an email. But that's about it.
I once explained to somebody that somebody's been here, watched me do stuff in the studio, like recording and engineering or whatever, and I've figured out how to do this out of necessity, but for a very long time it was difficult for me to attach something to an email, and I could do this, but yet
not an email,
but couldn't.
It's one or the other, really. It's
right. Well, I mean, you figure out what you can out of necessity, but then there's other things. Like there's a computer guy that I know that does sound for. I started playing bass in this band, and they have a sound guy, but his side gig is like computer repair dude, So
Wow.
which is good guy to know, super nice guy. And we were talking about stuff, and he's like, "Well, I can help you with that." And he's asking me questions. I'm like, I don't think you realize how much I don't really know. Like, you think I know, but I don't. Right. I don't know as much as perhaps it may appear as though I don't. So that's the nature of that. So on today's show, we're going to talk about some of Kenny's work. And the way we met, I think it was at O'Neill's.
It was O'Neill's.
All right. The first source of conversation was that beautiful guitar. Which remind me where you got it again?
My wife and I, we went to visit a friend in Nashville. Took a shot over to Memphis. And before Gibson closed the Memphis factory, we went in and went for a tour. And in their gift shop, between the window and this display wall, all the way at the end, hidden in the back, was this guy. And I said, I need to see that guitar, please. Oh yeah, go ahead, go get it. It's all yours. Go ahead. Went and grabbed it, picked it up, fiddled with it. I'm like, oh, this thing is just so beautiful.
Right.
Decided to go home with it. Drove all the way home from Memphis with this beauty in the backseat of the car.
Right.
Yeah.
And that day our friendship began because we were having that conversation where I was telling you the story about an opposite where I went to Memphis with Dawn, and then we went to Nashville on the way home and bought a guitar at Gruen. But in that trip, explaining to my wife that guitars kind of pick you, and it's like, that's they sort of pick you.
100%. This one absolutely picked me because it was the weirdest one in the bunch. And it was right there. And a cool story about it enough is Gibson was so amazing about it. I went up to their register and I purchased the guitar. And I asked them, does it come with a case? They said, yes, it does. They sent somebody to go get it. 3 people later, and about 45 minutes passed, the manager said, just go give him a hard shell case for the ES335, the big electric Gibsons, which it wasn't supposed to come with that. And they said, just give it to him for free. And I was like, I will forever be appreciative of Gibson and what they've done. Although now I play Fender, but
it's pretty hard to. That's an unbelievable guitar, and every time I see it, it's beautiful and it sounds great. Let's see. Well, you got a song you want to play as a first song?
I can, yeah. Well, I can play a fun one. This is a relationship song. It's called "Don't Let Her Go," and the idea behind it was when you're young and you're dumb and you don't pay close enough attention and your relationship may be a little bit on the rocks and you have an opportunity to correct it if you just, change your ways a bit. So it's called Don't Let Her Go.
Simple.
Tuesday morning, feel like giving up. Weekend shake up burns your eyes. Slinging empty words is not enough. Her heart's beating with desire. Go on, face it, you're overrated. Don't let her go out the door again. Don't let her go out with someone she calls a friend. Don't let her go run into his arms again. The kind of man that she can see in you. The honest carries all the truth. Hours spent rehearsing ways to prove who her future will include. Go on, face it, you're overrated. Don't let her go out the door again. Don't let her go out with someone she calls a friend. Don't let her go run into his arms again. Don't repeat the story everyone expects to read. Look into her eyes and answer her plea. Answer her please. Na-na, hey, na-na, go on, face it, you're overrated. Don't let her go out the door again. Thank you. Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you very much.
I like that one. It's I was trying to think. Every time I hear you play that, and you like when you kick into the words, it reminds me of something from my youth. Like, and I can't. I spent the first 2 verses trying to remember, like, who does it remind me of? And I wish I can't remember, and I'm sorry. And it's a bad to tell a story and then not get to the punch.
No, yeah.
But like it's there's something so familiar in the delivery, unique in its. It's a great song. It's like it's not like but there's just it just reminds me of an artist of some kind, and I can't place it. And there's going to be a day where you're just going to get a random text, and it's going to be right with like 15 exclamation points, because for the last couple times I've heard you play that song, I'm like,
I have an immense affinity for 90s like jangle pop.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
really?
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah, it's totally inspired by the vibes.
It's like Marshall Crenshaw or like some kind of like something like you totally did. I'm familiar with that because of my brother Rafe, and I've mentioned him several times on this. As a kid, when he would leave, I would sneak in his room and play his records, and then try to put them back where I found them, so he didn't know, and which he would know, but
they always know.
They do, right? But he played in a band, with, or had friends in a band with Skinny Ties, and and all that stuff. But that sort of power pop, stuff is that well crafted song with the great change and the great key change bridge, and and
it's so juicy.
Exhibit A, man. Right? Like you gotta. In fact. Kenny and I did a show together where we played some songs a couple weeks ago, and my brother was there with his wife, and his wife was like, "I love this guy," like, because they both completely come from that.
Sure.
Like, and I was like, really? No wonder, like,
yeah.
Of course you do.
It's just good music, like, I know that. It's interesting because I've noticed the trends that a lot of people younger than us, they're like the shoegaze interest in musicians is super, super huge, and so much of that shoegaze comes out of jangle pop from the early '80s, and like so.
It just goes in circles.
Yeah.
But it's a new take on an old thing, and whether it's the 60s, looking back at the blues, the British invasion was, all that stuff. It's always interesting to me that how that always comes around, and it just keeps coming around.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's interesting. Well, you have some great songs, and it's been part of this journey of getting people in here and talking about, having people play songs, not just being in here playing, but listening to other people play their songs, and asking them, like, my brother suggested I ask a couple questions, like the first album or record you bought with your own money, like not the first record you got, like that your mom, like I know what record I got when my parents bought me or whatever, but like first thing you bought yourself.
Okay, I will say the first one that I'll give you the first one I bought myself, but there's one prior to that I stole.
That's I like that caveat. So there you go. That counts.
So the first CD, or because it was mostly CDs for me at the time. First one was Core by Stone Temple Pilots. Okay. That heavy metal, but the one before that, which subsequently totally changed the trajectory.
You acquired?
Yes, temporarily without permission.
You acquired?
I remember I was at the River Grove College, Triton College had a laser light show, and the opening song that was played with the beginning of the light show was Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Mm-hmm. And that song completely just poisoned me. And I ran home that day, and I knew my brother had the CD, and I think, and
You didn't actually go into a business establishment.
No. I'm too scared to do that.
Yes.
There's no way I'd be able to do that.
That's different. Okay.
But
I thought maybe you were like the hoodlum going into the the local box store and lifting it and shoving it down your pants or whatever. No.
What I would, so the first one that I bought was Core by Stone Temple Pilots. But the one that is probably the defining album that stops, like that's where the buck stops, was Everyone Else Is Doing It So Why Can't We by the Cranberries. That one, and just what they did with the album, the jangly, energy on the album, Dolores O'Riordan, who, amazing singer, and that whole album was turning point stuff. Like that was the one that
First concert.
So I don't remember which my first concert was, but the one that stuck the most was in 2006, I believe. Stone Temple Pilots came to the Riviera, and it was just them. There was no opener. There was no nothing, and it was interesting enough. Scott Weiland left the stage at one point, and the lead guitarist did an 11-minute instrumental version of a Led Zeppelin song, and just blew my mind at what these guys could do and what you could do with music and how this is supposed to go, and I had my first guitar that I purchased. Well, first guitar I'd ever gotten was in '99, and I was just hungry to soak up as much as I could, and all the music of the time, the grunge era.
Right. By this point, you had a number of years, and so now you're like, right. You're
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
totally.
It just coalesces, and all of a sudden, new influences start pouring in, and like, oh my God, this is amazing, and as artists.
Once you pull this thread, it reveals that they were listening to that, and then you go to that, and then that was over here, and then this person listened to that person too, but I didn't think that would relate to this.
Right.
And then once those things all start to fan out, you're like, this is all related. What the heck?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. It's awesome stuff. Do you have a did you ever listen to records? You're a few years behind me, so like I caught the end of LPs as a kid. And then cassettes, and then CDs, and
I have picked up records along the way, and they sound way better than CDs do.
There's something there, right?
There's warmth. I heard that there's actually extra audio information that's taken out through compression to get the music to fit on CDs.
Well, there's sampling, so it takes a snapshot, 44,000 times a second. Which logically means that there's pieces missing.
Yeah.
Even though there's 44,100 whatever times a second, there's empty spaces.
Yeah.
But with an actual LP, there's no spaces.
Okay.
And that's that's some people say that's a difference. There's also there's a lot of different theories. And I remember thinking, I don't know, that's kind of BS maybe. And then recently I was given a gift of an album last year, and I didn't have a record player anymore. And I just spent a little bit of money on a record player in here, and I started playing. I didn't get a really fancy one, just not too bad, not a piece of junk, but
it'll work. It'll
$120 or whatever. I mean, it wasn't even expensive by today's standards.
Yeah.
And I had to work on it a little bit because at first it would run at variable speed and slow down, and speed up, and I realized that I had the belt wrong or whatever, and I just enjoy listening to it so much that I moved it upstairs, because I had it downstairs in this building for a while, playing it downstairs. And I moved it up here so that I could play it in here, and I could play it through the studio monitors, and I listened to records through the studio monitors and really listened to albums in a listening environment that's like pristine. And I was talking to my brother about this because obviously our music listening goes all the way back to our childhood, but like in a pristine environment where I can really at times listen to some songs from an LP in an environment where I'm used to really concentrating on frequency and listening with like a different perspective where you're really deeply paying attention to every nuance of everything.
Yeah.
And listening to things that I'm familiar with, but now on an album in an environment where I'm used to hearing things on a digital platform because everything I record is digital. It was like, this is really different.
It's very different.
I really started to enjoy it. So that led us to the album side of the week here. So this week,
look at this.
I picked every week I do an album side of the week, and I tell people if you don't have a record player and you want to play along, you can take the 4 songs or the album side that I tell you about. You put them in a little playlist and you just do the album side because the album side. What I like about it is every 4 or 5 songs you have to re-engage with your music. It doesn't just keep going. You have to flip it over. You have to pick. Sometimes you have to go through and you have to figure out something new. And this week I was looking through because I don't have that many records, but my wife had this pile of records when I started listening to records again that was in a box, and this was in her pile of records. But seriously, folks, Joe Walsh.
Joe freaking Walsh.
And side 2, tomorrow, Inner Tube theme from Boat Weirdos.
Oh.
And Life's Been Good. Which I love the fact that the song that was the hit was the very last song, because that's what Joe Walsh would do. He wouldn't put it as the first song, because that's what the record company would want him to do.
That's
He'd
smart.
go, let's make that the last song, man.
Make them listen to it all.
Right.
None
so
of
that's
this newfangled stuff where you can just take the one.
Joe Walsh would do. He would make them listen to it last. So I still haven't figured out what I'm going to play.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's the world is your oyster.
I don't think I played. I don't know. For those who listen to regularly, if I played this recently, I'm sorry, but I don't think I have.
Oh, this is a good one.
Is it ever gonna be? So like, crushing self-doubt. Song about crushing self-doubt, and at the places I played in the last few months, like before Christmas, I introduced it as this is a Christmas song about crushing self-doubt, or this is a Valentine's Day song about crushing self-doubt. More recently, this is a St. Patrick's Day song about crushing self-doubt, or an Irish song. You know any Irish songs? I got an Irish song. It's an Irish song about crushing self-doubt. So. I might have played it recently, but. Alone with my thoughts, leaning back in a chair, staring up at the ceiling. My mind was adrift as it skips through the list of the things I had yet to achieve. So many things I had yet to achieve. It's the best I can, never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can, never gonna be. It's the best I can, never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can, never gonna be. Is it ever gonna be good enough for me? There's that left to do, and it undone. The weight is crushing down on me. Now I can't understand why I can't let it go, why I can't just be happy and free. why my soul can't be happy and free. It's the best I can. I'm never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can. Never gonna be. It's the best I can. I'm never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can. Never gonna be. Is it ever gonna be good enough for me? Best I can, I'm never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can, never gonna be. It's the best I can, I'm never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can, never gonna be. Best I can, never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can, never gonna be. It's the best I can, never gonna be good enough for me. It's the best I can, never gonna be. It's never gonna be good enough for me. I spent half of the song in my brain trying to go. Did I play this recently? I swear. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I played it at an open mic or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I played it 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
I feel you on that. The amount of times that we play our songs, not only does it blend, but
Right.
and sometimes it's like, well, this song's getting old. Well, it may feel old to you, but everyone else hasn't.
Yes, and
You know what I mean?
that's the thing that like I had to learn more recently this year in because for me until this year I didn't play that much at all. But to me everything was like this is old, and then I started seeing some people that frequently because I would be in the same places, and I realized. No, you just got to play them a lot more. And you just got to get used to that.
Over
and
and
right.
over and over.
Especially because it's not like I'm some big touring artist that has a huge following of people that are seeing me so frequently that I need to do that. Like I just need to keep playing these songs, and so. But then I don't want to annoy anyone.
I hear you. I hear you on that.
So let's see. All right, so let's see. I asked you your concert and your first record, and what's your favorite color?
Ooh, I appreciate black.
Black is the absence of color.
Correct. But if I had to choose, probably like maroon, like a darkish red.
Okay.
Is a good color.
I'll go with
good
that.
Energy.
Got any shows coming up?
April 1st, I and my support guitar buddy Guy, he's going to, he's in the band. We're going to do an acoustic duo at the Arcada Theater, or better known as Rockin' Ravioli.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be number 7. We'll be the first slot. We'll warm up the crowd with our tunerinos and get everybody excited. Right. And then after that, Patrick Spiroff, whom you've had on your show, he has asked me to be part of his 3-person singer-songwriter gig that he likes to do. And we will be in New Lenox at Hickory Hickory Farms or Hickory something brewery. It's on the socials. I suppose I should know this.
No, that's right. You can look up Kenny.
Yeah.
On social media and find it, and I will certainly share when I see it.
Okay. Thank you.
Patrick is a wonderful soul, a wonderful dude.
Yeah.
We did one of those songwriting things together with Patrick, and it was great. That was a fun night.
That's right.
That was a really fun night. So I enjoyed that a lot. Patrick's one of those people that helped me to embrace playing more original stuff. I don't play exclusively original stuff, but I play way more than I ever did. And Patrick's one of those people that helped me to let go of some of my inhibitions on that, and I appreciate him for that a great deal. My band is playing at the Arcata on the 22nd.
Okay.
I think we're second or third. I don't remember.
I'll look it up.
Social media.
Sorry, you got to use it.
Right. And then May 17th and 18th, we're having a thing out here on the Stump stage here.
Ooh.
So the 18th is my birthday, and Sunday afternoon there's a whole bunch of people, and on Saturday it's kind of bonfire and a bunch of comings and goings of whoever can come. So
a little mini Woodstock.
Yeah, hit me up if you want to come by, and we'll get you here. I'm not going to put it out over the internet where my house is. So.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea.
Right. Let's see. Next week is Lee Evan, who I used to play in her band, and I've for a number of years, while I was still indulging in various chemical enhancement, I played in her band, and there's some good stories. There might be some good stories next week. The one that I've referenced is like we would do like these little, like we went to Detroit and we went to like Cleveland, and we went like she has a great vibe. I these days I refer to her as Potty Mouth Lee because a lot of her songs are not really, they're definitely R-rated.
Kid friendly.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Like but she's a great friend, and back in the day, she's one of those people where like if she was playing, like we used to play at the album room, we played a lot of places in Chicago, and if she was playing on the screen and the sound was down, people would be like, "Who is that?"
Mesmerized.
Let's go see what's going on with that, because she just had that thing, and she has that thing, so she's a great player.
That's awesome.
And it was great fun. I saw her at an open mic, and I'm like, "Do you have a band?" No, I recorded with this guy. I'm like, I kind of live in an apartment right now, and my life's completely in shambles, but if you need a bass player, maybe I could help you. And so, yeah, I ended up working with her for a long time. She's going to be here next week telling a story about, I'm sure, that's us driving the wrong way down a one-way street in Cleveland.
Whoa.
It was at like 2 in the morning because we didn't really know where we were going.
This is youth. The youth.
It was on our way back from the show. It was almost like in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when the car gets spun around and they're on the wrong side of the road, and he goes, it goes back up the off ramp, but he thinks he's getting. It was sort of like that. Like we got off this. Anyways, it was sort of like that. I don't even remember. All I know is we were. It was bad.
Okay.
We survived though.
Thank goodness.
Right. There's some crazy stuff in those days. It's amazing we lived. It really is.
I think a lot of us are probably amazed that we escaped our decisions.
I don't believe I don't. Sometimes I'm amazed that I made it this far.
Yeah.
So let's see. We've made it through many of the things on the list. I once again forgot to say hello to my grandchildren, which is I got to put it in big letters at the beginning of the thing.
Yeah.
So and I forget because it's so hard to get this off it's like I'm getting this Boeing 777 off the ground that at the beginning I forget, and so Lainey and Leo and everybody else, I'm supposed to so Grandpa's bad. Anyways, what else? That gives us, we did the album side, we did. So You got another song? What do you got?
I do. I can do the one like Joe Walsh. He put the song, his hit, at the end of his album. I typically play this song last all the time. I consider it, the big one, the one that it essentially inspired the whole album that I did, and it kind of it stemmed from this feeling that I was continually running into these scenarios or these situations, whether they were in my head or not, feeling as though what I'm doing isn't working, and even if I'm doing the right thing, I'm being told I should be doing something differently. And the concept of you just can't get anything right, even though you're trying to do your best. And the chorus of the song basically comes around and asks myself, well, I believed that at one point, but I'm not going to believe it anymore. I'm good enough. I'm doing the right thing. And if this situation or this, fictional situation isn't working with me in it, well, then I don't need to be here. And that doesn't mean I am less of value or not a good person, or there's just this idea of
good advice,
right? You can,
it's hard to take advice like that advice for yourself sometimes, but
right,
but it's a good message to remind yourself when you need to.
Yeah. So the song is essentially called "I Say."
You're not quite finished. Boss tells you that your heart ain't in it. Might as well stand up and leave an open seat. Chances be that you might not hit it. Try not to be an armchair critic, but they all say the advice that you give is cheap. Well, I say this'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too. This'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too. Cute little thing at the end of the bar asks how much, how fast, how hard. You treat her like a lady, but she just likes to eat. She's a man-eater. Thought by now you could pay the rent, singing a song in a rock and roll band, but somehow you missed the news on reality. Well, I say this'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too. This'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too. Of all the lessons learned, you will forget how hard it is to listen, hey, to yourself. Say there ain't no room for you, and you listen to what they say. Well, I say this'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too. This'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too. Hey, hey, hey! This'll be the first time. This'll be the last time too.
Thanks.
I like that song a lot.
Thank you.
It's a good one. Well, I hope this won't be the last time.
It won't.
That was a nice segue there.
I see what you're doing there.
I had to give myself credit on that one. That was pretty good.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's it always goes fast, and sometimes I look over and I'm like, wow. Because there were times where we were talking for a while. I'm like, well, we have to move on because we could keep talking, and as you see, time goes fast. That's why I put up the clock.
It's a very real danger, at least with me, to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
It is for me as well. So that's as you can see. So let's see. We did announcements. We did so look for Kenny P Mitchell socials, Instagram. You have that stuff and
Yep.
so website.
Yeah, you can actually go to kennypmitchell.com and you find everything there. There should be links up at the top of the screen to send you the socials and Spotify and.
We talked about meeting at O'Neill's, and you gave me a reference to Spotify, and when you meet people, you're like, yeah, cool, and I remember clicking on the way home, I'm like, oh, listen to this, and you don't have. When you meet somebody new, you necessarily don't have the highest of expectations. And I remember clicking on the first track and listening to it and going, all right, this sounds awesome. So,
yes.
Right.
You got one.
It's very exciting. I was, because sometimes you're like,
It's true. I mean, there are wide range of
you meet people and you don't set the bar high for yourself because you never know. And I just remember being very pleasantly surprised at how great your record sounded when I clicked on the thing and was like, this sounds great. I love this.
Awesome.
So it was really, really exciting. And that brings us to Dumb Joke of the Day.
Oh, here we go.
So, Dumb Joke of the Day. And one of these days, I'm going to have a theme, and there's going to be all kinds of stuff. So, let's see what we have here. It took me like 4 months to get a effing mailbox, so
Never too late.
Probably longer than 4 months. It probably took. This comes from Anita Bath at 240 Chili Street in Smells Bad, Texas.
Oh.
Okay. So.
As you see, I love dumb jokes.
Me too. I made a whole segment out of it. I made a segment out of it when I was talking to literally no one in a room by myself. To nobody watching.
Hey, genius strikes when you least expect it.
It says, Dear Mike, where does the sound of a duckling's fart come from?
I don't know, Mike.
It comes from his quack. Right. I like that. Gonna have to get a.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm gonna have to get a recording of that.
Yeah.
I have to get one of those sound boxes that has all the little push button noises. I have the drum machine thing. When I get the computer stuff straightened out and I get the rest of this sorted out, it's gonna be great. Something else will go wrong, but this is gonna be great. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We're going to go over to the Fox Valley, the Jammers' second anniversary show. I'm going to be doing live updates with my mobile. He got to see my mobile streaming person from the red carpet. I'm going to be doing stuff from the red carpet, interviewing people as they enter, commenting on their dresses, asking who they're wearing.
There you go.
Things like that. I don't know. I never watch any of those shows, so I don't really know what they do. But that's what I'm going to do over the next couple hours. I'll be saying hello to people, seeing who's there. There's a lot of great people that I met in the last half a year, like this guy, and a number of other people who I'll be talking to. And so, yeah. So there'll be a bunch of that stuff. Intermittently, you'll see if you have updates on... I pointed at the screen, not that you can see, but there's a screen that has all the YouTube and... If you're a subscriber and you get little updates that, wait, why is he streaming? Because there'll be little 2 and 3 and 5 minute things of interviews or just mentions or whoever's at the extravaganza this evening, and then we'll go from there. So I may even weave all that together with an edit later. So I think that's it. So that's the end. And one of these days I'll have all this stuff working properly again. But in the meantime, it sounds terrible. Where is my? It's over here. It didn't. Oh, we gotta see. Did you ever watch or listen to Steve Dahl?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've referenced this several times.
Yeah.
Steve Dahl's show, he once said, was a show about doing a show. Right? And it was like all the things that go wrong, and he was like, this is sort of a stream about doing a stream. Like, I'm constantly like, I realized that after a few weeks of doing this, like, I clearly listen to him a lot, because a lot of what I do is pretty much just a straight copy of what he does. I put the screens too far away and I can't read them. Okay, that's the right one of that. Now I have to do this. All right, so bye.
Thanks for coming.
Wait, it's not muted yet because I can't find the mute button.
Are they still watching?
It says thank you, but because all the buttons, my mixer's broken.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
I'll just do this.